School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by the Alberta Canola Producers Commission.
Now, there's a lot of discussion about striped flea beetle versus cruciferous flea beetle, and that some misinformation maybe about, or just a misunderstanding about some of the seed treatments and their impact on these populations. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, there was a study at the University of Alberta where what they noticed was some of the newer seed treatments, the neonicotinoids, that's your Helix, your Prosper, they kill crucifer flea beetle more than striped flea beetle. So, of course, when word of this gets out, people tend to make the assumption that striped flea beetle is resistant to the chemical. And that's not true. Flea beetles are a big group of insects. There's about 70 species in Manitoba. And not all species respond the exact same way to a given insecticide. There's going to be some variation. Some will be killed more so, others a little bit less so. That's just a natural thing. But it doesn't mean that the insects that are being killed less so are resistant. Resistance requires a genetic change over time, where a population that was being killed at a certain level is being killed less because of a genetic change in the population. And once those chemicals are used repeatedly, often you see the beetles that are now becoming resistant increasing in the population, and your level of control starts going down. That's the way resistance works, but there has to be that genetic change that has occurred. In this case, there is no genetic change. At least we're not aware of anything. It's just the natural level of control that can be expected. We don't expect it to be decreasing, and as far as we know, there hasn't been any genetic change. There isn't what we call true resistance.
In Manitoba, do we have an increasing level of the striped type of flea beetle, or is it still generally the cruciferous flea beetle?
We've got both, and depending on the year when you look, things will vary. There is some data that we may have a slightly increasing level of striped flea beetle, but a lot of it will depend on when you look. Striped flea beetle comes out quite early. So in April and early May, if you look at your canola crops, it'll be mainly striped flea beetle. By about mid-May, the crucifer flea beetle starts picking up, and late May and June, it'll be predominantly crucifer flea beetle. That's the way the cycles tend to work here. Now, one thing that happened last year, people seeded quite early. And so people were out observing the flea beetles on the canola in late April, early May, when we still had striped flea beetle as our dominant species. So last year it may have appeared that striped flea beetle was a lot more common than they remember. But that may be because people were out there looking a bit earlier in the season.
Great, thanks so much, John.
Oh, you're welcome.